Buenos días. Nomás quería compartir que nuestro panelista va llegando un poco tarde. No sé si ustedes quieren esperar un momentito para que llegue. Les vamos a dar unos minutitos más. También si ven mi pantalla pueden ver que hay otros talleres disponibles en el momento. Y en el chat subí los links. Dame un segundito. Hi, Joel.
Hi, Darío. ¿Qué tal?
How are you, sir? ¿Qué tal? How are you,
Good.
sir?
Very
Good?
good. Good morning.
Good,
Good
good.
morning. We're
All right.
live,
Well,
correct?
we are, yes. We've got a couple
Okay.
folks here. So we'll get right to it.
Okay.
And we'll go ahead and make the introduction here. Give me one second.
Darío, you want to start my video or would you, or we
I'm
don't
going to
have to
share
have a
my,
video?
I don't. So you do have access to share the screen. Let me just make this quick introduction so that everyone knows where they are.
Very good.
And then you can take over right after.
Okay.
So good morning, everyone. Just in case you were not aware, this event is primarily going to be in English. There'll be a little Spanish taking place, right, Joel?
Yes.
But overall, this will be an English dedicated workshop. Just wanted to make sure that you folks knew that you are in group 2 right now at the 10:30 hour. Como iniciar how to start a small business and other resources being hosted by Joel. And if you would like to attend the other workshops that we have, in the chat box, I provided links to the other ones, and you're more than welcome to visit those as well. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Joel Jacinto, who will be talking to us today on how to start a small business and other resources. Take it away, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Darío. Y buenas noches. Buenos días. Sorry, we get it right. Buenos días a todos. Joel Jacinto here, and I'm really excited to be with you all. I want to thank El Clasificado and Empleos Latino for allowing me to be a part of this virtual job fair, and Dario for your work, and for Mr. Frank and Miss Sarah's work in helping me get here. For that, let me just introduce myself. I am a business service representative with one of the city's work source centers. It's called the West Adams Work Source Center. And I think Miss Lisa Salazar from the city of Los Angeles will present information if any of you would like our services. And I know we have just a couple of participants, so that it'll be a very intimate grupo. Pero disculpe, yo soy filipino, pero yo hablo un poco de español, okay? And this is not only Hispanic and Latino Heritage Month, but it's also Filipino American History Month. So we compartimos la misma historia. And so happy to share that with you today too. Okay, so if for those of you who were in Mr. Fernando's talk from PACE about how to start a business and what you need to get started, right? He gave you a lot of great facts. Okay, he gave you facts of what to do, what you need, a business plan, all that great things, and you need to do that. Vamos al otro lado ahorita. Vamos a hablar como the human side of business. Okay, we're going to talk about that in a little bit, but I wanted to, when anybody comes into my house or my home, mi casa, rather, I'd say, well, who are you and where you're from? And so I want to know what your focus is. And we have one business owner in there taking the poll. And if you could, for those of you who are joining us as well, the 3 others, that we have one person who is a business owner but does not have it in operation. So you're waiting to start. So I just want to understand quién está en el cuarto con nosotros this morning, okay? And I'll keep that open just so that you know, all right? And right now, we're going to talk about you as individuals and as business owners, okay? The human side of business. And please allow me to share my screen. All right, Dario, I'm going to go ahead and share my
Yes.
screen.
Yes, sir. You
Like
can share.
Dario or Dario? ¿Qué le gusta a usted?
Darío is
Darío.
formal and Dario, Mario with a D.
Bueno, entonces, Darío, yo soy Joel or Joel, ¿verdad? So we
That's
know
right.
that we,
That's right.
we share the same history and language, Filipinos and Latinos, porque hablamos español también. Pero ahorita yo voy, English is my first language, so disculpe. All right, I'll try to speak a little bit of Spanish here and there. So vamos a empezar, okay? So the human side of business is really kind of I'm gonna give you some tools, or that tools and frameworks for you to think of yourself not only as a job seeker, right? Because you're here for the virtual job fair, but also as a business owner. Okay, as a business owner or an entrepreneur, um, think of these four things that we're going to do, four tools, four frameworks. Frameworks are una manera como pensar, how to think about things. Okay, and we're going to start with basically yourself and the business. Okay, can we do that? Ahorita vamos. Ahorita vamos. I lived in Mexico City a year when I was young, and so ahorita vam, ahorita voy is something I always heard out there too. So okay, we're gonna start with this first framework, number one, and that
Joel,
is
sorry to interrupt. Your screen is black right now.
okay. My
You
screen is
want to
black.
just,
I'm one.
yeah, stop sharing and then try to reshare again. It might
Okay,
help.
well, okay, sorry. We'll try that again.
Try
Dario,
that
thank
again.
you for
Sure, sure.
doing that. Okay, and then ahorita, yeah.
Oh yeah, beautiful. Muy bien.
Okay,
Excelente.
bueno. So I'm gonna come back out because I need to go back one little bit. Okay, aquí estamos. Starting with why, everybody, and this is from the work of a very accomplished speaker and thinker. He's an eternal optimist. His name is Simon Sinek. So this doesn't come from me. I'm just sharing with you because I want to start with you as an individual. Again, whether you're a business owner or whether you are a job seeker, and start with why is this whole concept about instead of starting with what you do or what your job is, I want you to think about and invite you to think about starting with your purpose, lo que estás adentro, what you are inside as a person. Okay. Again, we're focusing on the human side of business. And what is business? Business is not just transactions. Business is people working with people, gente con gente, ¿verdad? So when you are looking for a job or you're a business owner, we want you to think of yourself and what is your purpose or what your why is. Why, right? Why? Como? Why? And this why is this idea of what is your motivation? What is your purpose? What do you believe in? It's your core. And that's why it's the bullseye, right? If you look at this golden circle is a framework to say, well, where should you start? You're always aiming for the why. And so you start there. This idea of why is you can find it in a statement that is a why statement. And here's the why statement. The format is on the right. And the format is basically to blank so that blank. It's just a statement. It's a saying. It's something that you could say in 10 seconds, where the first blank is your contribution to the world or whatever you do. And your second, so that is your impact on the world. So using the sample of Mr. Simon Sinek, who developed this kind of why statement format, which is very, very easy. Let me read to you Simon Sinek's statement. He says, to inspire people to do what inspires them so that together we change world. We change the world. Now that's kind of a kind of a nicer way, a more impactful, a more más fuerte way of saying what they do, instead of he could say, well, I'm a speaker. I speak in front of a lot of people. This one is more engaging. So I want you to think about starting with why, so that you as a business owner can think about what you are as a person, whoever you are, what you hold dear to you is important to start with that. For me, as a business service representative, my why is really to serve others so that together we can make a better and more peaceful world. That's my why, right? And so I want you to think about what your why is. What your how is, that second circle around the why, is basically how you do things. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, how you do specific behaviors and actions that you do. And then the outer circle of what is basically, what do you do? What is your business? What do you sell, or what is your service? But the golden circle, el oro, allá está adentro in the bullseye. Together, your why and your how is your secret sauce. It really is you, unlike anybody else. No other business would have your combination of why and how. ¿Verdad? ¿Me entiendes? Okay. And you
Well,
could, Dario.
yes, we have a couple more people that have filled out the poll for you if you'd like to take a
Okay,
look as
cool. A
well.
ver, vamos, a ver, let's see how we're doing. Can you read that out too? Because I'm sharing right now. How many business owners do we have right now?
Well, it looks like we have all four, well, those four that have filled it out are business owners,
Okay.
and all four also have stated that they currently do not have a business in operation.
Okay, so you're just starting, beautiful. So starting with yourself, starting inside as a business owner that's going to launch these business, we want you to think about who you are as a persona, as a person. Okay, and that's why I shared with you this why statement. I'm going to move on because we have a little bit of time, and I want to talk about your second framework or your second tool. I'm going to give you four. Where the first one is start with why. And Dario, if we have friends who you'd like more information, we could send this to you and we could do more follow-up, because this is just a start. It's only half an hour and there's a lot to do. So this is just como appetizers, ¿verdad? Okay, so let's go now to the second framework. And the second framework is all about finding your voice, all right? And so if your business is built on you as an individual, right? As a business owner, it's all about you. You're the pivotal one. Then I want you to think about, so quién es usted? Who are you? And the way that you can answer that question, who you are, is to really ask yourself, a way to think of yourself is through the process of finding your voice. And if you look at that diagram, you'll see that the voice is the intersection of four basic needs in your life. These are four basic aspects that we all need. Everybody has these needs, and these are the four L's. For them, I'll share with you them right now. The first L is your need to live. Your need to live. You need to feed yourself. You need to survive, pay bills. Your need to live is very, very basic, right? That's the first L. The second L is your need to learn. And this is represented by the talento, lo que estás in your mind and your talents and your skills and your abilities. You need to use those, right? That's one of our needs, to use our talents, our skills. All right. The third L, right, we have live, learn, and the passion. ¿Qué piensas and action? Your need to love, right? To be able to be passionate about things. I love culture. I'm a dancer, and so this is what I do in my life, as well as serving businesses. I love to bailar y tocar música y todo eso, right? That's what I do. So you have passions. That's your need to love. And then the fourth aspect of your life, the fourth L, is your need to leave a legacy, to be in service, not just of yourself, but to others, to leave a legacy. So if you think of yourself in those four ways, and you think of, and I want you to think about what you do or what you want to do that will help you get you a paycheck or a business if you haven't started one. I want you to think about what your talent and your skill is. You could jot those things right now. What is so special about you? You could jot down what drives you to get up in the morning that you love to do. Even if you didn't get paid, you would do this. That's your passion. And of course, who do you serve, and why are you again on earth? It's a big question, but we would love for you to think about that, yeah, in terms of your conscience, in terms of your contribution and your need to live a legacy. At the intersection, everybody, is a unique voice, and that voice is you. And that's important to understand. So when you talk to people as a business owner, whoever it is, it could be an employee, it could be someone that you want to develop a relationship with, someone that you want to get service, me, someone that you want to get capital, or just anybody, you want to be able to describe and talk about yourself in this manner about who you are, your why statement, and who you are through your voz. ¿Verdad? Vamos, adelante. Let's go forward. Your third framework is go now to your business, right? We talked about you as an individual. We talked about your why statement. We talked about your voice, Let's now go to you as a business owner. And the third framework that we want you to think about is this idea of core business ideology, which is all about mission and values. Ideology is como piensas. What is your business really about? Okay, what is your business really about? When people ask you, what is your business? And again, you don't want to start with just what you sell or what you do, but there's a deeper meaning, there's a deeper purpose. We want you to go there. I want you to think about what that, and that can be found in this idea of mission and values. Okay, so mission is really related to your why. Remember, we talked about your personal why in the first framework. And you can also apply this framework to your business. Okay. And let me just say right off the bat, making money is not a why. Making money is not a why. You don't exist just to make money. There's a deeper reason why you do, or why you're going to do what you want to do. The purpose of your business is so much more important. Okay. And like Walt Disney wasn't just about making money, making movies, right? As a company, Walt Disney and the Walt Disney Company was about making people happy. That was their mission and purpose. And making money versus making people happy, which one is more compelling? ¿Verdad? Making people happy, because it talks about things that matter. It talks about uh, helping people to feel something, a connection with you as a business owner. So as a business owner, you want to speak about your business having a mission that's not just making money or having a good product or service. It's what that product or service does for the customer. There is the reason, la razón que es más fuerte, more impactful. ¿Verdad? I hope you're catching this as well, because it's important. It's important. Other than making money, money is not so much the goal, because if you have a good purpose, you will make money. ¿Verdad? The second thing, what are core values? Core values are enduring principles by which you will run and grow your business. Okay. And so I asked the question, you could write down right now, what is one of your core principles or values that you have in your own life, right? Everybody has, like, this is the way I roll in my life. And core values are so important because they guide your behavior. They guide your decisions. They guide your priorities. Core values are so important because they represent who you authentically are, right? So try to get to think now about your core values. You as an individual, you as an individual business owner. What is your business about? What does your business believe in? Okay, because those are important. These will help define you. Whereas Mr. Fernando talked about all the things you need to do kind of quantitatively, where that all the different paperwork and the business plans, I'm giving you the other side, the human side, so that you can make connections with individuals who say, I want to work with you because I trust you, or I like your mission, or I believe in your core values. ¿Verdad? Okay, vamos. We're going to one more framework. All right. This framework is the work of another author, and we could share with you these authors, right? We shared with you one speaker. His name is Simon Sinek, and Simon Sinek has one of the most widely viewed TED Talks in the world. Okay, he's an author of many books, and his work is very much positive and building, and that's why I share with you his work, right? The Start With Why, or Find Your Why. There's another author, his name is Jim Collins, who is a very great business thinker and speaker and writer. And he has this framework, or this concept called the hedgehog concept. And the hedgehog concept is something I want you to think about in relation to your business. right? And yo no sé si sabes qué es un hedgehog, but it's a little type of animal with prickly spears, and it's not like an armadillo or anything like that, but it protects itself and it lives and survives by just doing one thing, balling itself up and protecting itself. So it does one thing really, really well. One thing really, really well. It survives. So this hedgehog concept, I want you to think about applying it to business. Okay. And this hedgehog concept is really the understanding of the intersection of three different questions of your business. All right. These are three important questions about your business that you will start. Okay. If you were to start it, I want you to think about the first question, and it goes back to the first thing that we talked about your why and your how is, what are you passionate about? What are you passionate about as a business owner? Okay. It's one of the four L's. Your love for your business has to be apparent. So you need to understand what you're passionate about. The second question you need to ask yourself is, what are you, or what can you be the best in the world at? Regardless if you're a small business, just having a small mom and pop, or a small service or something, even if it's online, you want to ask yourself, well, what can you be the best in the world at, that only you could do, that no one else could do what you do as best as you do? And that's doable. That's definitely something that you could find out. You could think about that. That's the second question. What can you be the best in the world at? And the third question is, well, what will drive your economic engine? What will drive your resource engine? And that's basically your business strategy, right? In terms of, well, how will you get money, and how will you get resource, and how will you get customers to support your business? So these three questions: what you're passionate about, what you could be the best in the world at, and what will drive your economic engine, or your bottom line, your bottom line, your fiscal health as a small business. There's an intersection at the end. At the intersection, right? The intersection of those is the hedgehog concept. And that concept, el concepto, is an understanding of all these three things. And this concept should guide everything that you do. It should guide everything that you should and can do to help your business. And it should also say, these are the things that if they're not in the hedgehog concept, if they're not in the intersection of the three circles, then we will not do that. We will not do that. We'll not do all these other things. So it'll help you prioritize and have the disciplina, because business is all about discipline as well, to pursue what you must pursue to move your business forward. So small business or large business, it's all about disciplined people having disciplined thought and taking disciplined action. This hedgehog concept will help you to understand what your path forward is. Okay, because this is only yours. No one's going to tell you what your hedgehog concept. This is a framework that you can use in order to determine your business, or what you should do and what you should not do. Okay, friends. So let's that there's a fourth framework, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop sharing, and I'm gonna ask Dario to come on in, and I want to have a question and answer period, because I'd like to. For me, it's difficult. This pandemic has not allowed us to see each other. Pero I know there's 7 participants, and I would love for us to ask questions or comment, and you could share with me whether you what you think about these frameworks or these concepts, and whether or not they mean something to you, or anything at all. So Dario, can we open it up for at least a chat, and see if anybody has any questions, or
Sure. Yes,
please?
absolutely. We have a everyone. We have a Q&A tab in Zoom. You can always click on that and ask any question you like. So you're more than welcome to do that and type it in there, and we'll answer them for you. I'll read them out loud. And then if
Please.
you don't find that, you can also do that in the chat. I did get a couple of questions from an email, and so let me ask one really quick, and then we'll follow up with Liz, who just asked a quick question there. But I have a question here that is, how important is networking to starting a small business?
Okay, wonderful question, Dario. And to the person that asked this, it is so important, because networking, where that in the end, and básicamente is about people dealing with people. And what did we say about business? Business is not transaction. It's not things just happening. Business is about people working together with people, people relating to people, people communicating with people. So networking, which is relationship building, is everything. It is everything about business. And if you believe that, that will be very helpful for you, because business is not just about numbers. Business is a holistic human endeavor, because you don't do business with inanimate object. You are transacting, you are developing relationships with people. So networking is in itself a whole field and ways, and that's a great question. But absolutely, absolutely, business is about people.
And then I have from Liz, any books you recommend that we should read?
Yes, thank you for asking, Liz. The first book, and that's going back to the Start With Why. Yes, it's a book. It's called Start With Why, and the author is Simon Sinek, Sinek. And Simon is a great thinker and author. Dario, you know a little bit about Simon Sinek as well, correct?
I've seen a few videos roaming around that he's been interviewed. He had one that became very, very popular, had
You
millions and
bet.
millions of views.
Millions and millions of viewers. So let's encourage our superate. And I love that. I don't, not superate, superate. I love that verb, because this is what we're hoping that you're doing with your business from with these tools is really overcoming and advancing and doing all the great things. But Simon Sinek, Start With Why, Sinek. I'll write it down right now. Simon Sinek. And on YouTube, he has these wonderful videos, and they're, like Dario says, they're some of the most widely viewed TED Talks in history. And the other is the book, libro, and I'm not sure if it's in Spanish, you may want to check, is by the name of Jim Collins. Jim Collins is the other individual. He's the one that shared the hedgehog concept, and he has books called Good to Great and Built to Last. And he's done a really good job about doing research and applying his research to talk about wonderful companies, big and small, that are great, you know, that have went from good to great. I like these two authors, Simon Sinek and Jim Collins.
I have another question that also came through an email, which is, should I get social media for my business? And if so, what platforms?
Mm, those are all great questions. Social media is, and during this time of this pandemic and during the future, right? Social media is another way for you to share who you are, not just what your business does, what you sell, or what your product is, or what your service is, but social media is another way to communicate who you are. ¿Quién es usted? And who you are is an important way to get your business out there, to communicate with people, to network, to show that come interact with me because I have these core values, or this is important to me. So absolutely, the types of platforms is really up to you. You know, there's the traditional kind of social media, depending on who you're trying to reach in terms of customers and stakeholders. But any of the platforms are important. The ones that are more being used for professional and really kind of that type of business world is LinkedIn. But the other social media platforms like Facebook, and even are very broad. You have a broad audience, so you should think about having multiple platforms, maybe 2 to 3 at the most. And then Instagram is also a way for them, or Twitter is a way for them to people to follow you individually, you know, to see what you're doing or what you're thinking or what you're saying as an individual. So think of a combination of social media platforms, but you have to be able to keep them up all the time, because people want to hear from you. It's important to keep your voice out there. ¿Verdad, Dario?
That's right. And you have a, do you recommend we seek a mentor?
Gosh, you guys know the deal. Having a mentor, which is not someone who just tells you what to do, but someone that you as an individual also helps and supports them. A mentor-mentee relationship goes both ways. Absolutely. Absolutely. It doesn't have to be someone older than you. Could be someone younger than you. It could be someone who you respect, someone you want to learn from, but someone that you're willing to commit time and effort to developing a relationship. Because mentorship does not happen one way. Mentorship is a relationship, and relationship is dos lados. Tienen que participar, ¿verdad? It's just not one, the mentor sharing information and knowledge with the mentee, pero at the same time, right, you have to have a relationship with your mentor. So absolutely find that individual, and you could find those individuals by communicating, by being out there, by networking, by asking questions, okay, in terms of meeting people, virtually. So it's very, very important to have a mentor. Great question.
I've got one last question on my end that I can see here. Do you have, this is a great question. I really like it. Do
Mm,
you have any tips for introverted business owners?
wow. Okay. Introvert, the introvert, the classic meaning, ¿qué significa introvert? An introvert is a person that maybe is not so outgoing. They don't talk much. They're maybe more reserved, más quieto, ¿verdad? They keep to themselves a little bit more. And that's just a style. Okay, that's just a tendency. That introvert has the voice. It has the why. That person has the why. They have the same things that all human beings have. So if you understand that you're an introvert, it's okay, because that's authentically you. You still can network. You still can communicate what is important to you, to your business, in a way that you feel comfortable. Because I'm not saying that every business owner has to be an extrovert. No. Every business owner needs to be authentic to themselves. So the tips for the introverts, right? If you trend en este lado, you're más quieto, you don't like to talk too much, is then do your talking on social media. Develop your persona on the internet and virtually, as long as it is authentically you. Okay, I'm not about changing you. I'm helping you. I want to help you evolve and think of yourself as, how are you the strongest? And if you're strongest as a writer, and you feel más confortable talking with people that way, or business owners, then that's fine. That's what you do. You can have someone else work with you on your small business that helps network, and that's more extroverted, and that is a part of your team, because you have to have the right people for your business. If that's just you, then you have more things to do. But if you have the opportunity to have other people help you and do things, well, then you want someone a lot different than you. You don't want to have someone that's the same as you. You want to have someone that can help fill your gaps and do things and be part of that business that you don't have that skill. So think of having the right people on you, on your bus of your business. ¿Verdad? Dario, anything else?
Just curious, it's from Liz again. Just curious, how many books do you read a month?
Wow, Liz, gracias por your pregunta. I try to, I'm not crazy overboard. I try to do 2 books a month, because I listen to them as I caminar and walk, right? Caminar and exercise. And while I'm walking, I listen to these books that help me, and I listen to them again over and over again. So I try to maximize my time. But it's always important. What Liz asks is a question about learning, continuous learning. And that's la vida, ¿verdad? Always learning, always on una jornada de learning. And that's what business owners are. So I want to encourage you, if you're a business owner at the start, learn as much as you can, but have a balanced life so that you can do all the things that you need to do to take care of la familia and to be able to get your business off the ground, as some of you are. So that great question, Liz. Thank you.
Any business podcast you can recommend?
God, I would listen to the podcast for Simon Sinek first. Yeah, he's great. Simon Sinek has a great podcast. And because of the pandemic, everybody is doing. So there's a lot. But start with Simon Sinek. Start with why, and start with Simon Sinek, and go from there. How's that?
This question comes from Darío. Tell me about your Don Quixote picture behind you.
Una sueña, a dream. Don Quixote, for those of you who know his story, he was La Man of La Mancha, right? He wanted to fight. He had this vision of himself fighting a windmill. He had these great dreams, and this is a great literary work. And Dario asked a very great question about. I'm gonna take that, run with it. What is your vision? What is your vision for yourself? Sort of seeing yourself in years and in 3 to 5 years about your businesses. You have to have a vision. And if you have that vision, you know where you're going. So be like the person, la mano la mancha, y sueña, and dream, and go for it.
Wonderful.
Dario,
Thank
great
you so
question.
much.
Thank you.
Everyone, thank you so much for attending today. We really appreciate you being here. We hope you learned something. And a big thank you, of course, to our host of the day, Mr. Joel Jacinto. At this moment, if there aren't any other questions, we will be closing shop here. Please remember that there will be virtual booths this afternoon, I believe, starting at 12 o'clock. Please come back, enjoy this moment to take a break, and then come back and join us. Visit the superatela.com link. It's in the chat. Stop by, click on that, and save it, and come back, and it'll be available for hours. And today's the last day for the virtual job fair, so it'll be available for hours. So come back, take a look, visit the booths, talk to a few folks virtually if you can, and take advantage of this opportunity. And I see, Joel, you left your information there. Is that right, on the
Yes.
chat box?
And I'll give my email address as well, and I'll try to be responsive as much as possible, because that's really our mission. That's my mission and my purpose in life, Dario, is to serve others. And if we could serve each other, then that creates more help and love and paz y amor, right? That's what this world needs more of, ¿verdad?
That's right. Thank you, folks. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Joel, thank you again for joining us. We really appreciate it. And this concludes our workshop. Have a good day, everyone.
God bless you all. Nos vemos. Supérate.
Supérate.
Thank you, Dario.
Thank you so much.